Hi everyone, welcome to my latest video review. I do apologize for not making one for a while. I know I said I want to try to make one at least once a week. Just I was so busy and I just never got around to making a video. But I want to try and at least do once a week again. And yeah, so let's see how that goes. So I had this figure, the Dino Thunder Black Ranger from the Lightning Collection for a long time, and I didn't get a chance to open it. That's how busy I was. And so today I was like, you know what, let me get to it again and start doing videos again because I do miss it. And yeah, it's been like I think 2 months since I made a video, or a little bit over 2 months. But anyways, enough of me talking and let's get into the video. So this is the last Power Rangers Dino Thunder figure to be released, thus making Power Rangers Dino Thunder complete, which is really cool. So let's take a look at it. So this is what it looks like. We have a really cool picture of the Black Ranger. I always like the gold accents in the Black Ranger. It really made him look really cool. We have his brachial staff or saber. And then on the side here, we have Power Rangers Dino Thunder and a picture of his full helmet there. And on the back here, we have a picture of the figure. It shows us what accessories it comes with. So you get the effect piece, the helmet of the Dino Thunder Black Ranger, and his weapon. The figure, and we get like a Tommy face. So this is what he looks like. I mean, it kind of resembles Tommy, but not 100%. But then again, sometimes the heads they look more accurate when you have them in person versus seeing the picture. So let's hope. So when you turn it around here, you have a nice picture of the Dino Thunder Black Ranger, and that's we have for the packaging, and of course our figure decides to follow her. And I'm excited to open this figure and see what it looks like. So here's the Black Ranger figure out of the packaging. And I was actually a little bit nervous because I remember Dino Thunder, along with Zeo, was one of the teams where they screwed up the outlining of their visors. So I was kind of nervous and I didn't know what to expect, but thankfully they got the gold right and they didn't do silver or some other random color. And I must say, when looking at it, Tommy's head in person, he actually resembles Tommy a lot less than the actual picture. But it's whatever. I guess they did a good attempt for what they had. And with this figure, so you get this effect piece right here. We get the brachial staff. Mine came bent, so it kind of sucks there, but it's whatever. I'm glad that they painted it around and gave it all this detail. It looks really cool. You get additional hands here. This is the hand that they use when they do one of their poses. And you get like a regular fisted hand right here. And I'll show you guys the figure. So let me actually remove the helmet there. So what the helmet looks like. They did a great job on it. They didn't mess it up, which is really good. Will look much better on the actual figure. Let me get those out of the way. This is the figure here. It sucks that they didn't really color in the morpher. This is the figure. Here's a close-up of Tommy's face. I guess they did a good attempt, but he looks more like one of those Backstreet Boys versus Tommy. I'm sorry, I don't even know their names, but yeah, he reminds me of one of those, one of the Backstreet Boys. I can't recall what his name was more than Tommy. There you have it. That's the Dino Thunder Black Ranger. Let's look at articulation. So he most likely has the standard articulation where you can move the head up and down. Chest, you can move it all the way to the back or front. The arm, you can move it side to side, front, back. It's like a ball joint over here. And you can move it like so, and also on the elbow, up, down. The glove, you can move it like side to side, up and down. So basically, the same basic articulation you get with the other Lightning figures. Pretty cool. You have the holster here, so if you want the brachial staff in the holster, you have that, which is pretty cool. If you want the figure to hold the brachial staff, show you what it looks like. That was actually surprisingly easy. Some of the figures I really had to force the weapon in. Yeah, because the staff is kind of bent there, like kind of looks wonky, but yeah, not bad. And here's the back of the figure. And I always love when they have like designs on the side here, because it shows, because it's easy to know where exactly to align the legs there with the articulation. It's like right here, the diamond like matches up, so it's very easier. Here's the Dino Thunder Black Ranger with his helmet on. And I must say, it was quite the mission. I was really trying and trying. The helmet would just not go on. After a few attempts, it finally managed to go on. And here's a close up. And yeah, so that's what the black. And then honestly, it's a really good figure. I love it. Like, mind you, I haven't seen Dino Thunder Abba Range in a long time. But from what I can tell, they did a amazing job with this figure here. No complaints. Only if I had to choose, is that Tommy's head does not really look like him too much. He just looks like an average white guy with spiky hair and facial hair. That's pretty much it. So let's look at our lightning figure with the legacy figure. And without even having to assess them, I can tell you right now, the lightning figure wins by far. Because the cheese gold that was used for Dino Thunder, and also I believe Zeo as well, makes them stand out like a sore thumb, which made no sense because Bandai did use like the metallic gold for like the chest symbol and also like the side detailing, like they used the metallic gold. But for some reason, they cheaped out when it came to like the rest of the figure. So it just stands out really bad. So definitely Lightning figure would get the point. Although I really wish that they had used like the light like a lighter metallic gold like we have on the Lightning figure like over here. Because the contrast of the black so much more nicer versus the darker metallic gold. And as you can see, like on the Lightning figure, you can almost hardly tell the visor on the camera there because of how close it is to black. But yes, Lightning figure for the win. And also, one thing I never cared about for the legacy figures is their holsters. They weren't attached to the actual figures, so they came off very easily. So that's another thing I never cared for. And there was also a figure released from Bandai when in its initial run. I think it was in 2003. Fortunately, I don't have that figure to compare with, but at least we have like a fairly new figure, fairly updated figure to compare it with. Let's look at the entire Dino Thunder team. And they look really cool. I always love looking at complete Ranger teams. The only thing that's very off-putting to me is the inconsistencies, like blue and red. Instead of having white detailing around the visors, they have silvers. That kind of stands out there. But if you look past it, the team looks amazing. I love them. If I had to choose my favorite out of all of them would have to be Aberrate Killer. Oh, sorry. I meant White Dino Thunder Ranger. And his suit always looked so fierce and so cool. And he had this appeal on him that pretty much said, "Don't mess with me." And of course, looking at him, I don't think would anyways want to mess with him either way. But yes, our Dino Thunder team finally complete. I wonder if they'll release a Triassic Ranger. I think that was what it was called, the power up of the Red Ranger. Now that would be really cool. So here I have all Dino Thunder Rangers with their helmets off. And boy, was it hard to get the helmets on the figure for them to hold it. We're trying to make this fast because I feel like the helmet will fall any moment. So when we're looking at all of them, the best ones easily are Ethan and Trent. And second to them is Kira. And then I would say Tommy and Connor just come last for me because Tommy and Connor, they kind of look like the actors, the characters, but for the most part, they don't. But yeah, but they did a great job on the actual suits. Just wish they had kept the visor detailing proper for the blue and red ranger by using white instead of silver. So yeah, this is what they look like. They look really cool. I love them. So here I have all the Tommies that I own. There's actually two Tommies that I don't have, which is the Ninjari White Ranger and the Metallic White Ranger, because the only way I can get them is through Hasbro Pulse or spend the insane amount and get them from Toys R Us. Even Hasbro Pulse, yeah, it's very expensive. So I'm like, yeah, no, thank you. This is what they look like. Please excuse my Dracon figure because I could not get him to hold the helmet properly without like screwing up the stance of the figure. And when I look at all the Tommies, and I'm not going to include Dracon in this, I never read the comics, so I can't really say, but the best Tommy out of the mix is the Green Ranger Tommy. He looks exactly like Tommy. They did a great job with the White Ranger Tommy as well, but the only problem I have, I don't know if it's just my figure, but they made the head a little bit smaller. And also the eyes aren't painted properly, so it looks very hollow. It's just really weird. And yeah, so Green Ranger for the win. And second would give I would give it to the White Ranger face. And third, I would give it to Zeo Red because Zeo Red, even though like there's a little bit more aging going on, you can at least tell Tommy's face. Black Dino Thunder, there's not much of a likeness. And I can't really comment on Dracon because again, I never read the comics. So yeah, so these are what the Tommies look like together. We have yet to get Turbo Red. I mean, we're getting a Turbo Red, but that's of TJ. So I wonder if they'll give us like a 5 pack of the first Turbo Rangers. Who knows what their plans are? Or they might even release like a Turbo plus a vehicle, the Turbo cards. So here I have the 5 Tommy figures with their helmets on, and they actually look really cool. So if I had to choose a favorite, I would I would choose the Dracon figure. I know I said I haven't read the comics, but something about like the red visor and all those like all that gold that's going on in his helmet just looks very menacing, and it kind of reminds me of the White Dino Thunder Ranger. But if you're going in show only exclusively, I would have to give it to the Black Dino Thunder Ranger, and then White Ranger coming as a close second, and Z. I think I would give it to Zeo Red, and then the green Mighty Morphin Ranger because it's screwed up the visor on that helmet. There's way too much gap that's going on. And the helmet is a bit too big that it just makes the figure look awkward. But yes, these figures, they look amazing. I love them. So Power Rangers Dino Thunder, the Black Ranger, was part of Power Rangers Lightning Collection Wave 14. In Wave 14, we had the Lost Galaxy Pink Ranger Kendricks, the Blue Dino Fury Ranger Ollie, and Mesagog. Actually, did not get Mesagog because I just do not have the space, and I'm not huge on villain figures. I mean, if they're like the classic villains like Astronema or Divatox, Rita, who else? Trokina, I will jump on it because I love those villains. But the later villains, while they were cool, were not my cup of tea. Like they were okay, but the mascot figure does look good. But I strongly believe if I buy him, I'll end up just having him in storage because I have like no space anymore. So with that out of the way, if I were to rank these figures, I would definitely give it to Dino Thunder Black Ranger as the best figure out of the three because I'm looking at him and there's no faults that I can find. I mean, you could say like maybe the morpher is not colored in, but that's a really small detail. And second, I would give to the Pink Lost Galaxy Ranger. She loses points mainly because of the skirt. It always bugged me like how pronouncedly like pointed it is at the end. While it is pointed in the actual suit as well, it's not like this pronounced and it just looks kind of awkward to me. But the rest of the figure still looks great, so that she still gets second place. Now, the Blue Dino Fury Ranger is the last in place for me because they messed up the helmet. The helmet, instead of giving him a metallic silver around the visor, they gave him like this dull gray and it just looks so plasticky and bad. And for me, the helmet is the staple of the suit, and you screw up the helmet, and you're essentially kind of screwing up the overall look of the Ranger. So yes, he's definitely the last for me. And as far as pricing is concerned for the Black Dino Thunder figure, he is 35.99. I don't know if the pricing has gone up on this figure because when I initially tried to buy him with the rest of the figures, it was unavailable or the prices were like really inflated. But I waited and I was able to get it at retail for 35.99. As you all know, I am in Canada, so those are the prices we usually pay. But if you are fortunate enough to find him at GameStop, I would say wait and buy it at GameStop, especially if you're a platinum member, because you do shave off $2 and get it for like 33.99. I mean, it's not a huge savings, but wherever you can save, I would say go save. I would say go for it. And yeah, so I'm guessing this figure is very popular because the recent tragic events of Jason David Frank, and he is also Tommy is a huge fan favorite from with most people. That could be another reason why this one was sold out so fast. So I would say if you guys want this figure, get him now because look at the Green Money Morphin Ranger. Most people want him, and they can't seem to get him because the prices have been inflated like crazy. So you don't want to risk that happening with this figure. Now, for the next question, would I recommend this figure? Definitely. Like, let's forget the Tommy head that doesn't really look too much like him. The rest of the figure looks amazing. I cannot find any faults in this figure. They got the gold the right shade. They got the helmet correct. They haven't done any screw ups on this figure, so I 100% would recommend this figure. And he looks great with the rest of the Dino Thunder figure, so that's another plus. And yes, so we have effectively come to the rest of my to the end of my video. Sorry, I don't know why I said rest. And I will try to keep up with my video reviews. I do apologize for having a very badly delayed video. And if you guys have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to comment. I will try to get my best to get back to you. And also, please like and subscribe. It truly does help with these videos. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.